I can't just consume an avocado while I'm riding my Vespa through the busy streets of LA. It's just not practical. But seriously, breakfast on the go with keto is actually a little bit tricky. See, we all want to have something that's easy and quick, but we also want to be able to get the calories that we need. And that's just the thing. That's probably the biggest issue. On keto, we do want our calories stacked in the morning, and the whole light breakfast crowd has made it very difficult to comprehend that. We don't want to have light breakfast. We actually want most of our calories stacked towards the morning. As a matter of fact, there's a really interesting study published in the journal Obesity that took a look at two isocaloric diets that ate the exact same amount of food. The only difference was one group ate 700 calories for breakfast, 500 calories for lunch, and 200 calories for dinner. The other group flipped that on its head. 200 calories for breakfast, 500 for lunch, and 700 for dinner. Most people would think, oh, the group that ate the light on-the-go breakfast was really health conscious and they were getting a light breakfast, so they probably lost weight. Wrong. The big breakfast group had a 33.6% decrease in their triglyceride levels, whereas the small breakfast group had a 14% increase in their triglyceride levels. Same exact amount of calories. Okay, and there are other studies that demonstrate that weight loss is much better if you stack your calories towards the beginning of the day. I always recommend this because you end up making worse decisions in the evening time. Anyhow, let's just get right into this fun stuff. After this video, check out Thrive Market down below in the description. A lot of the things that I'm going to talk about in today's video that you can have on the go, you could also get through Thrive Market. They are an online membership-based grocery store. They've been a sponsor of this channel for like 3-4 years now. They are awesome. So if you want any kind of keto goodies or anything like that, you can select what kind of diet you want to shop for, and then it gets delivered right to your doorstep. Super economical, way easier than going to Costco, way easier than going to Walmart. Gets right to your doorstep, and you're also supporting this channel in the process. So check them out down below after this video. Let's jump to fat burning for a second before I get into these foods, because if you're interested in fat burning, there is a study that was published in the journal Nutrition that found that those that ate a higher fat, lower carb, more calorically dense breakfast oxidized more fat later in the day than people that ate the same amount of calories overall throughout the day, but not as skewed in the morning. So low carb, high fat literally helps your cells utilize fat more throughout the rest of the day. Okay, number one, take some prosciutto or some good quality ham, roll it up in some cheese, and add some avocado to it. You do 3 of those and you've got 600 or 700 calories with a good amount of protein. Okay, what upsets me quite a bit is when we look at pork. Pork is a good fat. People seem to demonize the heck out of it, and it just frustrates me because it's actually one of the better fatty acid profiles, so it's 40% monounsaturated fat, which means it's fat that your body is going to use. It's not pure saturated fat, and it's not polyunsaturated fat that's going to denature and not be good on the road. So pork works out great for that. As far as the cheese you'd want to use a Gruyere or use some kind of Swiss, or if you can get goat cheese slices, do that. Use a full avocado for however many rolls you're doing. So if you're doing 3 rolls, divide that full avocado up into 3 rolls. That way you're getting the oleic acid. You've got to have some avocado or avocado oil in the morning. It really does help kickstart that uncoupling process that allows your body to convert that white fat into brown fat. Okay, next up is a fun one for you egg lovers. It's basic as heck. Okay, that is good old-fashioned hard-boiled eggs. And people ask us all the time, are hard-boiled eggs good on keto, Thomas? Are they? Yes, they are, especially if you're on the go. They're not something I always lean into, but here's a cool study. The journal The American College of Nutrition published that a group that was eating the exact same amount of calories, but either eating a whole grain bagel or eggs for breakfast, well, they ended up finding some pretty wild results. The egg group had a 61% reduction in their body mass index. They had a 65% greater weight loss, and they had 16% more body fat lost just by having eggs instead of the bagel. Now, you're watching this video, you probably know that a bagel is not keto. The point in saying that is that eggs, they're demonized everywhere, but they're perfect in this particular case. And the funny thing is, these weren't even crazy high quality eggs. The fact of the matter is, being on the go, being able to grab something really quick. What I would recommend is, again, taking hard-boiled eggs, cutting them in half, adding some avocado to it, and just eating it on the go like that. Put it in a Tupperware, whatever. Or you can just grab a couple of them, call it a day. The next one is one that I kind of invented. It's where you take 2 sausage patties that are made from pork. Yes, once again, pork is fine. You can even get frozen sausage patties as long as they don't have a bunch of maltodextrin and a bunch of other things added to it. You're really gonna be fine. Like the Applegate Farms ones, they're pretty darn decent. You can get turkey patties, chicken patties, or pork patties. And I mean, they're not perfect, but they're definitely better than trying to makeshift something out of low quality eggs. So again, good fatty acid profile, but then put some tomato, put some avocado in between two patties and make a sandwich that way. You're basically making a reverse breakfast sandwich, and that way you're getting the fatty acids that you need, and you're getting the calories, and you're getting the protein. This next one is one that you can make ahead of time for the week. Okay, and really I've done videos on it. It's kind of a no-brainer. A chia and flax pudding. So simple. You take a couple tablespoons of chia for 1 serving, 1 tablespoon of flax meal for 1 serving, you add it to 1 cup of almond milk or coconut milk, you add 1 to 2 scoops of protein powder, you mix it up, like I usually put it in a shaker cup, and then add it into a jar or whatever and let it sit in the fridge for an hour, and it gelatinizes into like a high calorie, high soluble fiber pudding that's perfect on keto. Not only is it somewhat caloric and very protein forward, it's also got the soluble fiber that you need that are gonna drive forward that short chain fatty acid production. One of the things that you might want to do, however, just to get a few more calories oomphed in there, is put a little bit of coconut butter, like 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut butter for each serving. But I would measure it out and make 3 or 4 days worth. That way you could have this like as if you're having yogurt in the morning. You could easily eat it on the go. And the last one is leveling up your bulletproof or your keto coffee. Look, here's the problem. You either have keto coffee alongside breakfast, which ends up being too many calories, because if you make bulletproof or keto coffee, it's gonna be 400 or 500 calories just in that alone. And then you're having that along with your bacon and eggs. Come on, that's too far. That's like 1,200 calories. What you wanna do is one or the other. So if you're trying to just get out the door on the go, try making it with cold brew coffee, and try using some fats that do not solidify when they're cold. So cold brew coffee with some MCT oil, maybe some avocado oil, which is a great blend. Then you'd want to add a little bit of actual avocado. You add some frozen, just some regular ice, okay? And then add a couple scoops of protein powder, and then whip it up in a blender and make a bulletproof keto coffee smoothie. So you're making like a frappe out of it, but you can't do that with ghee or butter because you're gonna get little chunks of butter when it mixes with the ice because it solidifies too much. Because that's the problem. If you just have bulletproof coffee on the road, you're not getting the protein in. You can have a little bit of collagen, but it's not the same thing. You need to add actual protein. And unless you wanna have 2 cups, one with your bulletproof coffee and one with your protein shake, it's easier to just make it cold. That way you can just add whatever else you want to it. So as always, keep it locked in here on my channel, and if you want me to make any of these recipes in specific videos, put it down below in the comment section, or if you have ideas for other videos, I want to see them down below. As always, keep it locked in. I'll see you tomorrow.